konnichiwa. Hello, my name is Mickey and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the the Cafe Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Caffeine Concealer and Foundation. It's this little guy right here. Now, if you're new here or you enjoy my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification so you know when I upload my videos. And as always, my disclaimer, if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is definitely not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's gonna come out of this mouth, so keep that in mind while you're watching. So if you guys are interested in the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Concealer and Foundation, then just stay tuned. I am in my new setup. I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep it this way. I am up close and personal so you guys can see what's going on with the whole foundation situation. Now I'm going to get right into this guy because I have to get ready so we can go into town. You guys, everything is like 30 minutes away. It is so different living in a rural area. Also, the status of my face is it's still extremely dry and really trying to get used to the weather here. Today it dropped down to like the 50s, so it's pretty chilly, but it's really hot up here. I'm on the 3rd floor. I'm going to be doing my best to do a wear test for as long as possible. Now I'm going to get into some information about this guy. I pulled it up on my phone here. Now I was able to get this from Sephora. It's actually on sale right now, but I don't know how long it's going to be on sale. This normally retails for $39, but I was able to get it for $27. Now there is, I want to say 1 fluid ounce. Oh no. Okay, so this is actually 0.5 fluid ounces, which to me is really shocking because that's about half of a normal foundation size. This comes in 30 shades and the shade range looks okay, but I feel like they can do a lot better with the darker skin tones. And so yeah, Marc Jacobs kind of needs to get on that. This says it is a 2-in-1 caffeine infused concealer and foundation with natural looking full coverage and all day wear to visibly brighten and re-energize all skin types. Just so you guys know, I have very dry skin and I got a lot of acne and acne scarring. Now for the coverage, it says it's full and the finish is natural. I really like a natural foundation more than a matte foundation because again, dry skin, I just really don't like anything matte. This hydrating crease resistant formula blends seamlessly to quickly conceal dark circles, blemishes, and redness, which I have a lot of. With an oversized applicator for a quick all over coverage, it works double time as a buildable foundation for a visibly smoother, more even tone complexion. For the shade, I have light 120, which is actually the second lightest shade ever since I've been here in Tennessee, which we got here April 1st, and right now it's like April 21st, I believe, and my skin has been adjusting. I've been in the sun a lot because the sun here is a lot brighter and the UVB and UVA rays are a lot stronger here than they were in Washington. Now here is the component. It actually looks a lot smaller than I expected, but I really like the packaging because it's nice and simple and it's also frosted glass, which I really like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a good shake because this has been sitting in my makeup bag for a while now. And of course, on one side of the face, I'm gonna do sponge application, and then on the other side, I'm gonna go in with a brush. First, I'm gonna go in and apply some primer. I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, which I use for almost all my foundation reviews. Also, if you guys hear any noise, it's because Lilu is in the room with me and we have wood floors, so you're gonna hear clicking and clacking and all that good stuff. So I am just gonna do this side of my face and then we're gonna apply a sponge first. Ooh, so this is really kind of a thick consistency. It feels really thick going on, and that kind of worries me. So I'm only going to put this much because I don't want to overdo it. And I have my trusty little Juno & Co sponge here. Look how fucked up it got in my makeup bag because it's just been squished there for like the last 2-3 weeks, but it's still a good sponge. So we're going to go in with this. And oh, I will say there is a scent to this. Okay, there's a very clean scent. It's not super overly scented, so I really like that. Now I'm just gonna blend this out. Again, I always blend everything out with a dry sponge because it gives me more coverage. And this, oh my god, this is very high coverage. I am not used to this because I have not been wearing any kind of makeup since I've been here. I've only been doing like mascara and my brows, but holy crap. Wow, look at that coverage. Holy shit. It blended out so fast and it's blending out seamlessly, which I really like. Wow. and it's not clinging too much to any of my dryness. Maybe a little bit here on the sides of my nose. I'll scoot up closer once I blend everything out so you guys can see. I don't feel like this is a natural finish because you can still see a little bit of shine there, but not really. To me, this is kind of like a demi matte and more towards the matte side, I would say, than a natural finish. I don't know where they're getting that natural finish from, but this is definitely more of a matte type of foundation. Now I'm gonna have to bring this way down here because as you can see, it's very, very different from my skin tone. Again, I have to kind of reassess my skin tone because it is changing a lot since we moved here. So far, I would say this is really high medium coverage or low high coverage foundation because there is a little bit of my acne scarring and discoloration peeking through, but it's not extremely bad. Like, it's not really that bad. And I have a little bit of redness peeking through right here, but it's really not that bad. It's kind of hiding everything, even my dark circles, as you can see over here. Again, haven't been really getting that much of great sleep, but it's covered all the darkness under my eyes. Wow, this is a really pretty foundation, which I normally would not say about something that looks this matte, but it looks so good on the skin. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more on my forehead, and then we're going to go in with the brush application. So now I applied some more on this side of the face, and I'm going to go in with my Sigma flat kabuki brush. This is the F80 Air brush, so it does have like duo fibers. I do have the flat top kabuki brush that I normally use, but because this is such full coverage or high coverage, I wanted to use this so I can get kind of like an even coverage. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I have not filmed in so long, and I actually really missed it because I was kind of going stir crazy, but we have been doing a lot of things to kind of like set up our trailer and just trying to get everything in place before we start, you know, the house process. So I have the brush side blended out, and I think it looks so freaking beautiful. I feel like you can blend this out with a sponge or a brush, and it's going to look so good. It blended out nice and evenly, and it gave me around the same coverage as this side did. And I just think this foundation looks so good on my skin. You know why? Because it's not clinging to a single freaking dry patch on my skin, which is amazing because this is a very high coverage foundation, and most of the time anything that is labeled as high coverage, it always clings to my dryness because it's a thicker formula. But this one, it just looks so good. Now it is clinging to a little bit of the dryness that I have on my chin, but it's not that bad. So I'm gonna scoot in so you guys can see what's really going on this mug. This side is the brush side, and I have a little bit of dryness right here. I have a dry patch there, a little bit of dryness going on the side of my nose, but again, it's not like super duper terrible to where I would just completely write this foundation off. It's starting to crease just a little bit in my like frown lines. As you can see right there, there's a crease, but on the sponge side, it's really not clinging to any of the dryness, like half as bad as the brush side. And I think it's because with a brush, it's not caking on, I don't want to say that, but it's spreading on more thick than a sponge because the sponge does absorb a little bit of the foundation. So I would say if you have dry skin like me, to apply it with a sponge rather than a brush. One thing I will say about this is that I don't feel like there's anything on my skin at all. My skin feels so comfortable. It feels so freaking good and light and airy, and I just really like the feel and the look of this foundation. Again, I feel like it's more of a demi matte than a natural finish. I'm just really not seeing like the natural finish glow going on. Now I'm going to blend a little bit more here on this side because I feel like there's a little bit more peeking through. So I'm actually going to add just a little bit, just a little dot there to see if I can cover this area just a little more, because I have this one little pimpy guy that just will not go away. He's been there for probably a whole year. It's like one of those really deep kind of like blackheads or something. I have no idea, but it has just been chilling there for a while. Now this is definitely buildable because I was able to cover it just a little bit more. I think I've gotten kind of a good idea where this lands. So I'm gonna go ahead and call the check-in time. Let's see what time it is here. It is exactly 12 p.m. So I'm gonna call the check-in time 12 o'clock. I am going to now do the rest of my makeup, brows, some light eye makeup, and I will be right back. So I got the rest of my makeup done and it is now 12:22, so it took me about 20 minutes to do this. My husband just came home and so we're gonna go grocery shopping, go into town and get a couple things. Everything that I have on my face will be listed in the description box below if you guys are interested. The thing about this is I didn't set it at all and everything blended so beautifully on top. I didn't have any powder on my face. I didn't even add concealer. I think I touched this area here, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that real quick. This foundation, I will say, is self-setting because the powders just blended so beautifully on top, and I feel like I don't really need a powder. I still feel like this is extremely light on the skin. I feel like there's nothing on my face, and now that I have all my makeup on, I feel like this is kind of a natural looking foundation. Like, I feel like my skin still looks like skin, unlike, you know, full coverage foundations where you have that caked on look, that makeup look. But with this, it just looks so light and airy, and it feels light and airy. So I really just like the way this foundation looks so far. Now, of course, I'm going to be wearing this for as long as I possibly can. The check-in time will be 12. And so, yeah, I'm going to go run some errands into town, and I will see you guys in a couple of hours for my first check-in. So the time is now 5:22. So I've been wearing this for about 5.5 hours. It does not wear very well. Now, mind you, I did not set my face, and I feel like if I did, I may have had a different outcome. When I first put it on, it felt extremely light and comfortable, but now because it's breaking down so fast, it's just getting really uncomfortable and getting kind of like that oily feeling. You can see like all the dryness going on here, and a lot of it has rubbed off. Now, there is no mask mandate here in Tennessee, but I have been wearing my mask everywhere I go. You can definitely see where it's kind of rubbed off on the folds of the mask. And down here, I am getting so much like breakage, like where it's starting to break down a lot, and it has made my skin a lot more dry than it was before. You can see, ooh, sorry about that. It's from my old piercing hole. It's still healing, but as you can see, it has broken down significantly all around my mouth. There is a lot of creasing going on up here on my frown lines, and it has rubbed off my nose completely because the mask situation. For some reason, ever since we moved here to Tennessee, we've been here for almost a month now, my skin has gotten oilier throughout the day. So it starts off dry and then gets oily during the day, and then at night after I wash my face, go to bed, it's dry. So during the day it does get a little bit oily, but yeah, I really kind of wish I would have set this because it has just completely broken apart or fallen apart. Now on the sides here, it looks a little cakey on the sides of my nose, but it's not too bad. I feel like there are other foundations that look worse than this around my nose, but it's right here that just really bothers me. It's like this whole area here and like right here. Even on the description it said that there's no creasing or it's crease proof, but I feel like if you want this to be crease proof, you're going to have to set it. I'm going to be wearing this for as long as I possibly can, and then I will see you guys again for my final check-in. Guys, so the time is now 9:07, so I've been wearing this foundation for 9 hours. And let me just say, it did not perform the way that I thought it would. I'm gonna scoot in closer so you guys can see what's actually going on my face. Keep in mind that I did not set this foundation, and I'm kind of regretting it because normally whenever I do foundation reviews, I try to set my face. Also, I apologize for the lighting. There's not a lot of light up here, so I have to depend on my photography lights. I'm not really sure I like this foundation very much because it just really did not wear well throughout the day. I have a lot of breakage going on around my nose. You can see some parts of it are getting extremely cakey. This whole area around my mouth has completely broken down. You can see all of the dryness that's going on around my chin, around my mouth area. This area has completely just broken down. I have a lot of creasing going on here on the forehead. This actually looked absolutely beautiful when I first put this foundation on, but you can tell that it's starting to really bring out my dryness. And even underneath the eyes, there's a little bit of creasing and it has faded quite a bit. And even on the nose, as you guys know, I wear glasses and the glasses have completely rubbed off whatever foundation I had left on my nose. I feel like this foundation would work a lot better if I did set it, because a lot of the times whenever I do set a foundation, it lasts a lot longer and it doesn't break down as fast. But even in my first check-in, it was already breaking down all around the mouth. The thing is with this is that it just made my skin so dry towards the end. So I feel like this wasn't really a natural finish, more towards a demi matte, because normally with more matte foundations, this is how my face looks by the end of the day, because it sucks the moisture or the little moisture that I have in my face. So this foundation is definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to give another shot at. But as for a first impression, I would say that this is not a very long wearing foundation. Now, I do love the way that it felt when I first applied it. It was very light. The coverage is very high, medium coverage, or low, high coverage. And other than that, I feel like this foundation definitely needs the help of a powder. As for the price, for $39, I believe, retail price, I don't think it's worth that much, especially for half a fluid ounce. Normally a foundation comes with 1 fluid ounce. This one comes in 0.5 fluid ounces. So that's a lot per ounce that you're paying for this foundation. So I would say that if you have normal skin, this would work absolutely beautifully, or minimal dry skin. If you moisturize enough before you put on this foundation, I feel that it would look absolutely beautiful throughout the day, as well as if you set it. Now, if you're on the oilier side, I definitely would not recommend this foundation at all, because as you saw in my first check-in, it was breaking down a lot, because like I said, in the middle of the day, my face does get pretty oily. And so I think that's kind of what helped this foundation break down a lot faster, and you know, it didn't hold together as long as I would have liked it. So this is definitely something that, as a first impression, can't really say that I love it or that I even like it. It's just something that I'm gonna have to keep trying and figuring out what products work best with this. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, or comments, please leave them below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.